Now, more cookery, and if you're vegetarian and looking for an alternative to nut roast, the Hairy Bikers have just the thing, and that is...
They are doing a veggie, because this is their book, The Veggie Feast, OK? And from this, they are doing Veggie Wellingtons, not beef Wellington, so it looks like it.
Let's get our feet into one of those.
Let's get our feet and teeth into one of those.
Merry Christmas! Yo ho ho! Glad tidings I bring. It's me and Cy King.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And as you well know, Dave and I have a penchant for said turkey and all of the trimmings. However, we have vegans and vegetarians in our family, and they also need to be catered for on Christmas Day. So,
for a decade now, we've been knocking out our Hairy Bikers nut roast. And over the years, I think it's got a bit boring. So we have invented the Veggie Wellington. It's like a beef Wellington, but nothing was harmed in its creation.
Other than a carrot.
It's very simple.
It really is.
First off, here in this pan here, I've got, which is like the engine room of the Wellington. I got an onion and celery and cooked that for about 5 minutes until it was translucent. Then my root veggies go in, nice wintry things. I've got some parsnips, celeriac and carrots. Now to this, we start to add the flavourings. We've got some sage.
Oh, it's nice. That's the Christmas thing, isn't it?
It is sage.
It's lovely.
It is full of Christmas flavours, this.
It is, it is. It's lovely.
Some thyme and some garlic. Mix that in and just let that cook for a couple of minutes. To this, I add the zest of a lemon.
While Dave's adding the zest of a lemon, all I've done is I've 200 grams of finely chopped mushrooms and some shallots. I sauteed the shallots off in a little bit of oil and butter, and then sauteed the mushrooms
Now,
off.
you're very pedantic about the size of your mushroom dice, Mr. King.
It is.
Which I found quite amusing.
It's 3 millimetres.
3 millimetres.
It takes a while to measure them all, but you'll get there. You don't measure them all, just stick them in a food processor.
And now I want my spices. Mace. Some allspice. Christmas puddings. Mulled wine. Santa's sack. Pop that in there. And some cloves. And just cook that for a minute.
Now, while Dave's cooking that for a minute, the spinach we've blanched off and we've chopped and we've squeezed the life out of it. Every bit of moisture that we can, because it needs to be pretty dry. And then what we do is we add our mushroom and shallot mixture to this.
Now, this is cooked in a little bit and it's starting to get really aromatic. Smell that, Si.
Oh, nice.
What does that smell of?
Christmas.
So to this, we put the kind of the good stuff. Look at this, some wild rice.
Now that's cooked wild rice though, isn't it? That's important.
You can get the stuff in a bag, it doesn't really matter. Some green lentils, some breadcrumbs, chestnuts, and crushed nuts.
Thank you. We've got our mushrooms and we've got our spinach together. I'm going to add some salt, some pepper, and the zest of a lemon.
Oh, love. You see, it's all about flavour. This recipe is in our new book, but failing that, it'd be on the website for this morning. No, it's Christmas. We've got to give stuff away. I want to add some more flavour. It's really useful stuff. Mushroom ketchup. You can get it in any supermarket. It's real old-fashioned flavour. I want 2 teaspoons of mushroom ketchup and 1 teaspoon of soy sauce. We're building up the savouriness. So, this is the filling complete. Now that needs to cool completely. Right, so like the beef Wellington, you have the duxelle mushrooms, which lines the beast in the middle. That's the beast in the middle, that's the duxelle, which goes into the pastry. But the secret is, along the middle, to give you a surprise, we have a row of prunes. And these prunes have been soaked in Oloroso sherry. Do you want one? Keep it regular.
Oh, that's good. So, while Dave's on with this, I'm going to make the gravy.
Should I start to build, Kingy?
Yeah. Why
So
not?
I lay in a strip down the middle of my pastry 1/4 of my mushroom duxelle.
Now, make sure that that is fully cooled, because if it isn't, it's going to melt your pastry. In this pan, we've got some mushrooms, we've got some shallot, we've got some garlic, we've got some thyme. And what we do is we just cook that all together until it looks like that.
So do you put half of this on that layer? I think the secret to this is, don't be daunted by it looks complicated, it looks a fiddle.
It's not.
Now we put the prunes.
That's going to be lovely because there's a sweetness to
Yeah.
the prunes, and there's a little booziness to the prunes that's kind of quite celebratory, and that, after all, that's what we want. It's
It's
Christmas.
sherry, isn't it, as well?
Talking of which, I'm just about to put about a tablespoon of sherry in there.
Now just use the other half of your big filling on the top, and you want to encase, to coffinate your prunes.
Is that a word, is it?
It is now.
And we're going to add some mushroom stock. Now just add it a little at a time over a relatively low heat, because you don't want, the worst thing to have is lumpy gravy.
Now we've got to roll up your welly. In other words, give it welly. And take it over like this. And voila. Oh, look at that. Now that's it. Now we'll just roll this over gently, and everybody thinks that you are a master of the veggie welly. Now, as it's Christmas, I bought myself a little pastry cutter.
Look at this, look at the consistency of this gravy.
Mon ami,
Yes.
to the furnace. See you later, my little vegetable friend. Oh, it smells fine, Kingy.
There we go.
Do the honours, mother.
Gonna cut that right in the middle there.
Half for you, half for me.
That would be a portion and a half, wouldn't it?
Well, it's
Look at that. It's a goodie.
It is, isn't it? Oh,
Merry Christmas from the hairy bikers here.
yeah. And a happy new year.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you very
boys,
much
thank
indeed.
you.
Can you have some of the
Yes,
vegetarian
the
gravy?
vegetarian gravy. So they
So
mentioned
would
there
you
the
spoil
mushroom.
that with Bisto then, would you?
No, yes, because it's a
just-
vegetarian.
Right, yeah.
It's mushroom ketchup and mushroom stock. You know, I said you
Yeah.
can have vegetable stock, but they've used a mushroom
Yeah.
stock,
And a
bit of
little
sherry.
bit of cranberry going on
Nice.
here as well. Yeah.
Smells delicious. So that beats your old nut
It's
roast.
delicious as well. Very nice.